Hello and welcome to Champion Reviews. I'm Joe. Here with me is my co-host Dan.
Hello and greetings.
Last time we kind of made a mistake regarding the end of Season 1, because on the list I was looking up online, it said that the Venom saga was the end of Season 1. But then when I looked up on Wikipedia, I found out, no, but I kind of consider this, the Hobgoblin saga up to Chameleon, more Season 2. It feels more like a second season, like a season premiere.
Or it should have been before the Venom saga. Because, honestly, the way the Venom saga was set up...
It's a season finale.
Exactly.
So we're going to treat this like probably the starting point in Season 2. If that's controversial for you, sorry, but it's just how the dice rolled. We made a mistake. But the episode starts with Hobgoblin masking up and weaponing up, arming up. I like how it feels like a Batman scene. You know what I mean? Like at the end of a movie. Except it's the beginning. And I like how Hobgoblin kind of... Now, sometimes in the comics, Green Goblin or Hobgoblin dominates Spider-Man in their fights. The problem with with Roderick Kingsley, the actual Hobgoblin in the comics, is that he's a part-time supervillain. He only does it on the weekends. Then he retires back to Fiji or Jamaica. And it's really stupid because his writer, the one writer, I forget who it is just so obsessed with protecting his villain Sue. Never wants him to really lose. But he doesn't really want to have him win either. So he just creates 50 different Hobgoblins, then has Roderick just start killing them all for the purity of the mantle, or but sometimes he spreads the mantle to them, and then he decides, oh, no, you're too impure, and kills them. And it's just stupid. It's really dumb. Now,
at least the Master always kills himself and then comes back. I mean,
well, Roderick pretends to kill himself.
The Master does it better.
Yes, he does. We're referring to the arch enemy of the Alpha Flight. As to Green Goblin, I've never been a great fan of Green Goblin. I always find Green Goblin overrated.
Yeah.
Except for Harry. I love that plot as a one-off.
I don't know why people want to push Norman Osborn to be Peter's ultimate nemesis.
Yeah, he doesn't have the what it takes.
Plus, there's not as much the emotional connection.
No, not that there is with Venom, even Carnage to an extent, or, Jackal. Even Otto Octavius, I will admit, has more of an emotional connection to Peter.
And
although he's not high up enough. Although Lady Ock and Ben had a really strong connection because they're essentially adoptive siblings fighting over Daddy's legacy.
And there's more of an argument for the Otto Octavius of this series than
with Pete. Yeah. Now, in this movie, Hobgoblin dances between Norman's side, then Kingpin, then back to Norman for better weaponry. Also because he gets annoyed whenever no one is willing to pay him. After just, because he'll do a job for them, screw it up in one case, then he successfully kidnaps Harry Osborn, then says, I want to be paid. We have Kingpin. Yeah, I hired you to kidnap Harry, and then better arm yourself, then you get paid. But I want to get paid before I do half my job. That's not how it works, buddy. You're paid by the hour. Like, get back out there. Aw, man, you're going to actually have to work? Yeah.
Yeah, you decide to sell your services to the Kingpin.
But, Hobgoblin in this series, I like him, but he's got eyes bigger than his stomach. And he's obsessed with money.
Yeah.
Not that he wants to live better for the money. Well, sorry. He wants to use the money to marry himself a rich woman and just spend... And then, on the side, go back to being a Hobgoblin whilst living in the lap of luxury during the day. So... But the problem is, he doesn't have the brains for it.
He pulled off Roderick Kingsley a lot better.
Yeah, I will admit. Now, that said, Norman is frantic because he's trying to get out from under Kingpin's thumb, whilst also trying to later rescue Harry. Aunt May, of course, passes out at the side of a dirty room because she's Aunt May. MJ, now Aunt May is sad, I have to admit, because Peter left to go do what young men do, and that's get out of the nest. MJ decides that, well, since this is her man, she wants to decorate the place later. Because Harry really doesn't know anything about decorating. And she offers to swing by to decorate the place. From what I can tell, it looks like, given how Peter slept, he does have his pajamas on, but given the messiness of the room, him and MJ had quite the time before she left to go get back home. I'm just hazarding a guess.
Yes.
They're young. But then Hobgoblin swings by because Aunt May couldn't last a day without wanting to see her baby. And Hobby, she passes out right before the bomb hits. Whatever. Yeah, it's timed in such a way that Peter thinks it's a bomb, which he could... No, I get why. That's what an ordinary person would have been shocked by. Not the, a dirty room. Okay, I understand if it was Alfred to an extent, but come on, May.
It's at least blame it on the open window. I mean...
but Aunt May's never had a backbone to save her life.
Yeah.
Between that and pretty much her gambling problem. Whatever. Yeah, that's a subtle thing from the comics. True fans will know what I mean in my fan theory there regarding her and her wheelchair husband, her second husband. But the thing is, this episode's good, but it's a two-parter. There's also setting up seeds for one or two details in the neogenic nightmare and mutant nightmare story.
And but another seed for
the Green Goblin.
There's the Green Goblin. You have the episode of the trial.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yes, because Peter saves Fisk from the assassination attempt that Norman set up, where Hobgoblin would kill Fisk. Yeah. Now, as to the voice acting of our newest cast member, that's the newest cast member is Mark Hamill here. I have a confession to make. I don't mind his Joker, but I got bored of his Joker eventually. In Mask of the Phantasm, perfect. He got to play a darker version of Joker. But in the cartoon TV series, for the most part, I got bored because every second episode was a Joker episode. So I felt more like the Joker animated series. But he wasn't allowed to actually do any dark stories or explore the character.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know Joker is supposed to be a coward in the comics, but
it's like he was best in as you mentioned, Master of the Phantasm and World Finest.
Oh yeah, he was really great in there. I forgot about that movie. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, in World's Finest, he's kind of outshined by Lex's voice actor, Superman's, and even Mercy.
Mm-hmm.
And I will admit, Kevin Conroy's an okay Batman. Sorry, guys. Kevin Conroy's not my favorite Batman because his Bruce Wayne is the exact same personality and voice as his Batman, which I have a problem with that.
Mm-hmm.
Bruce Wayne should be different. Batman should sound different from Bruce Wayne. Bruce Greenwood, Bale, and even Val Kilmer did better Batman in Bruce Wayne's. That said, Kevin Conroy's still a really good one. He still did a great job, but this is not a Batman animated series review. In Spider-Man, I find that Mark Hamill was allowed to go further, to go darker than the Batman animated series. Because the Batman animated series seemed nervous to go too far with Joker. Whereas the Hobgoblin, oh my gosh, he's trying to murder someone. He laughs and cackles about murdering people. He says, I want, before I kill anyone, the last thing they see to be this face.
It's like the Joker from the Batman animated series. That was just a trial run. Because, yes, there are similarities in the voice and mannerisms that there is in Joker. But it's so much there's so much difference that you could tell it's a different character, and you could tell Mark Hamill. This is probably the best Mark Hamill role
he ever had.
Yeah.
Like, we're not criticizing Hamill. Hamill is a talented voice actor.
And
he's got chops on him that very few people have.
Yeah. And putting aside Star Wars,
his career was dead until Joker.
Yeah.
And that really, well, maybe Trickster, I should say, in the Flash series. That revived his career. Because he went from that to then being able to leverage that into Joker and into Hobgoblin.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe Trickster is what revived his career, we should say.
Yeah, and
playing these trickster villains,
these killer clowns.
It was a good thing that we got Hamill in the 90s like that.
Mm-hmm.
I may have issues with Joker overtaking the Batman cartoon, but it's not because of a lack of talent on Hamill's part. No. Hamill's talented.
It's overexposure.
Yeah. Now, Hobgoblin, I really love this role. He's even darker and grittier and more realistic. And in some ways, just psychologically. And he like, the amount of homicidal murderousness, and like, he's a mercenary in this universe. He's a mercenary, but he seems more evil than Joker. And he seems obsessed with money, obsessed with even blood.
How did they get so far with this? With the pearl clutching Christian mother's censors?
Yeah, like, how do they get away with that when you've got this guy going around screaming about how he's going to murder everyone in his way for revenge and money,
blowing people up, and with sharp blades that would have Spider-Man concerned, and Spider-Man has tough skin.
I'm not going to lie. As a kid, I did get nightmares from this character because I was 3 years old, but I still thought he was the most interesting villain out there. And I remember going, Joker, whatever, at 3, and I went, wow, this guy is even worse. He's even more scummy.
And yet you watched the Venom saga over and over again.
The Venom and Hobgoblin saga over and over again.
It's like, I'd expect the Venom to cause more nightmares than Hobgoblin.
I know, it was so irrational. But the thing is, Hobgoblin, but once I turned around, I think I was about 4 to 5 years old. I kind of stopped and I went, no, I still liked him. I just stopped having nightmares. I was like, okay, I grew out of it. Then again, I think around I was about 4 or 5 years old. I snuck in, and when my dad was late, it was like 11. I tried to stay up. I snuck into the living room to watch a certain Terminator scene where the Terminator slices off his arm, and that kind of spooked me a bit more. My dad had wanted to show me Terminator 2. My mom had forbidden it. Her mom had forbidden it. He still showed me a bit of the movie. She was a pearl collector. She didn't like that.
You're welcome for that stuff. I was a kid prone to nightmares. She got overprotective.
Yeah, but then she was like, nope. When my dad went to show me, but then a few months later, I was like, no, I'm gonna see this. So I snuck in when my dad didn't notice. Now, once he did, he got mad, paused it, and said, you'll get me in trouble, picked me up bodily, carried me to my room, and locked the door. And put the movie back on. Like, he was a really good dad. He was like, well, like, even after the divorce, he was like if we're gonna be divorced, I want to co-parent here. Like,
it's like, I can't undermine
my ex is 40 because we're a team.
It's like because it's going to cause trouble if one parent undermines the other's regulations.
Yeah. The thing is, even after the first few months of divorce, after the first rough patch, the two of them were really they co-parented really well. So we were fortunate in that regard.
Yeah,
and the divorce did not cause too much psychological damage.
But
the thing is, I'm just saying that's our background, my background at least with Hobgoblin. and this cartoon. But the thing is, I really love this cartoon and these episodes. As an adult, I'm just entertained and tickled by Hobgoblin. But the best part of the episode is, of course, Spider-Man. I just love how he's carried off into the heavens, and you have Hobgoblin enjoying the flight wall crawler. Ha! No, yeah, remember? You have Spider-Man. Some flight. You have no Peanuts, no Stallone movie.
So which shows
that he's a Stallone fan.
He likes Sly.
Yeah, he likes good action movies because Sylvester Stallone did have some really good action movies in the 80s.
Mm-hmm. Peter's also a fan of westerns.
Yeah, although Stallone, I don't think had too many of those.
No,
but I find Stallone's best movie, in my personal opinion, was probably and will probably always be First Blood.
Yeah,
that movie is just it's so good. So yeah,
and we see that this is Spider-Man's first real fight
against a goblin
with a villain that could fly.
Yeah,
there have been some that could fight in the sky with him, like Venom, and Scorpion.
But the thing is, he's still getting the hang of things to an extent. That said, Hobgoblin, you can clearly see, is not the same threat Venom is to him. But Hobgoblin's still a threat to him. I kind of think that maybe we should have watched the Hobgoblin saga before Venom.
I agree.
That would have set the scene up better. But as it is, we're reviewing this after. Whatever. Watch this the Hobgoblin saga probably before Venom. So let's rate this thing. I'd give this episode, it's a 2-parter, but I'd give this episode probably like a 2. It's good. It's just not great.
2.5 for me. It's like I find it's really enjoyable.
So above average.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, at least MJ's better characterized here. Although I still long for the comic book MJ.
Mm-hmm. Plus, there's one more reason why this is an enjoyable episode. Lots of explosions.
Yeah, he's a Michael Bay fantasy, isn't he?
Yes.
Hobgoblin, I mean.
More like a Michael Bay, wet dream.
Okay, fair enough. Actually, I think Hobgoblin does look like he's his type. Alright, if you like this video, like, share, subscribe, leave a comment.
And blow up that notification bell.
Of course.